Coming up here on Grayson County Weather, we'll have a look at your 4-day forecast, what the current conditions are outside, and we have 2 alert days this week. But tonight, we're having Dustin Knight talk about the severe weather that we're supposed to have tomorrow. All coming up here on Grayson County Weather, getting ready to start right now.
Weather alert has been issued.
Can you hear me? Okay. So, yeah, I'm glad to jump on here and talk about the severe weather forecast for tomorrow night, and then I'll mention Wednesday a little bit. Um, right now, you've got the current radar pulled up. We just got some light rain showers across the area. Nothing severe tonight. In fact, most of the rain showers are kind of weakening, so it's mostly light drizzle to maybe some moderate rain. But we're not really worried about any of this moving through the area. Um, Tomorrow night, of course, is another story, and I'm sure you'll pull up some graphics here in a minute. But yeah, tomorrow night's another story. So here's the severe weather outlook for tonight. Again, no storms expected in the area, so there's nothing really to get into for tonight. So this is where things pick up for tomorrow. I on my professional page earlier, which again I cover for my job. I cover like the western half of Kentucky, which includes the Grayson County area. I put out an outlook map earlier highlighting a fairly similar area. The Storm Prediction Center has a slightly different responsibility than I do, but they've got us currently in an enhanced risk for severe weather, which is it'd be considered a 3 of 5. Don't get too caught up in the wording. In fact, I suspect this will be upgraded to a moderate risk, which is a 4 of 5. The question is, will that include Grayson County? I don't think it will. I think the moderate risk will be a little farther west, but honestly, that doesn't change anything at all. The severe weather threat's the same, whether it's enhanced risk or moderate risk tomorrow. I'll get into the details of that here shortly. But yeah, currently an enhanced risk for severe weather, which is a fairly, that's a fairly high-end setup. So one of the things they do, they issue hazard probabilities. In this case, this is the tornado outlook for tomorrow. So this isn't the percentage of a tornado. This is the percentage of a tornado within 25 miles of a specific point. So they've got a 10% chance of a tornado. Sorry about that. They've got a 10% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any point in this area. So the actual probability of a tornado tomorrow could be 80 or 90%. But again, a 10% chance for a tornado within 25 miles of any certain point And then if you see those little black lines with the little hatches in it, that just means a chance for significant tornadoes, which would be EF2 plus. Overall, for what it's worth, I do agree with this outlook. I think they probably include a higher risk area near Paducah, but I mean that's a fairly significant tornado probability. Don't let the fact that it's 10% fool you. Like that's 10% tornado, 10% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of your home is a big deal. And this is the wind outlook, which the wind is, I think the wind is probably the more primary threat for the Grayson County area. I mean, obviously, if a tornado develops, that becomes a very big deal. But the wind is probably the more widespread threat when storms reach central Kentucky, because we're expecting like supercell storms to develop across like Missouri, far western Kentucky, Arkansas, that area. And by the time they reach central Kentucky, we're really thinking that they'll develop into more of a line or broken clusters of storms with a more organized wind threat. Tornadoes still possible, including strong tornadoes. But the wind will likely impact pretty much everybody. Not everybody will be impacted by a tornado. And I mean, that's a 30 to 44% chance of significant wind, again, is a very big deal. And then the hail outlook, I actually think there's a really good chance for some large hail tomorrow. Maybe not as high in Grayson County specifically, and you can kind of see that in the outlook here where the probabilities drop off as you get towards Grayson County. The larger hail will probably be confined to the supercell thunderstorms I was talking about just to our west. And again, we might see some supercell storms near Grayson County, but the consensus is that storms will get at least a little bit messier, not necessarily less severe, but messier by the time they reach us, which is why the wind and tornado threat's a little higher, and then the hail threat kind of drops off across central Kentucky. But regardless, I mean, 1 to 2 inch hail is still very much possible tomorrow night, even in Grayson County. Oh, you're fine. While you're searching for it, I'll go ahead and give a kind of a synopsis of what we're thinking. So I mean, yeah, tomorrow is a complicated forecast, which I was mentioning. It's which they always are. I guess if I'm being honest, they're always complicated. But the big question tomorrow is kind of like what form will storms be? That's kind of our big question. If we're able to see isolated supercell storms in central Kentucky, then a significant tornado threat will accompany those. Very large hail would accompany those, and of course wind as well. If storms grow into more of a line or clusters of storms, which that again is what I'm thinking for Grayson County, that's what I'm thinking is more likely, then damaging wind and tornadoes would be the primary threat. And again, that is what I think the focus. I think really between like 8 p.m. and midnight for Grayson County, I think is probably the most likely time. Which lines up pretty well with what the Weather Service graphic here shows. They've kind of got it in the 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. time frame, which overlaps with what I'm thinking. Regardless, between like 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., tomorrow night into Monday morning, you're going to want to be prepared for severe weather in the Grayson County area with all hazards on the table. That's kind of the bottom line. 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m. tomorrow night, be prepared for likely severe storms. This is another zoomed out graphic of the Storm Prediction Center tornado probability. And again, you see the 10% hatched area across, much of the region, which includes Grayson County. And that hatch means a possibility of EF2 or stronger tornadoes. Um, Again, for Grayson County specifically, the tornado threat, I think, is a little lower than it is for areas to our west, but that doesn't mean that it's low, if that makes sense. Like it's relatively lower than it is in say southeast Missouri or near Paducah, but it is still a fairly high tornado threat in Grayson County tomorrow night. Here, zoomed out probabilities again. We kind of went over this a little bit already. The wind and hail probability. This is a good graphic because I know sometimes people get confused by the outlooks or the language in the outlooks. Um, so this kind of breaks down each category. With general thunderstorms meaning just kind of your run of the mill thunderstorm. You can get some, maybe some lightning, some occasional heavy rain, some gusty winds, but not severe wind, hail less than 1 inch in diameter, no tornado threat. As you step up, you get an increasing risk. And one of the things that confuses people is that a slight risk, for example, doesn't mean slightly severe storm, right? A severe storm is a severe storm, whether it's a slight risk or a high risk. So what the risks really outline has a lot more to do with the extent of the risk and then kind of the number of storms you're expecting. So for tomorrow, they've got an enhanced risk, which means numerous severe thunderstorms possible, a little more persistent and widespread, a few tornadoes with several reports of strong wind, and of course, damaging hail. And I think they'll upgrade a moderate risk as well, probably west of us. But yeah, I don't want people to be too confused by the categories. It doesn't necessarily represent how severe the storms will be. It more represents how many storms there will be and like the overall intensity of the system at large. Okay, isolated flooding possible Sunday night. This is something that I also wanted to kind of discuss. Um, while the storm Sunday specifically won't be the highest flood risk, you can see here they've got a level 1 of 4 flood risk. Um, the storms are probably going to be moving a little too quick for like uh, a major flood risk. They're going to be more, kind of progressive storms moving through the area fairly quickly. But still, the heavy rain rates, areas that get hit by 1 or 2 storms, they could see some localized flooding. But through the week, like at large, several inches of rainfall are possible, and we do expect some fairly significant flooding issues to develop by the end of the week. So again, for Sunday specifically, it's a relatively localized flooding potential, but we will talk more about it as the week goes on. You'll see that flooding potential increase each day. Okay, now to Wednesday. Um, and if I can be honest, and anybody who follows, whether you follow me at work or you follow my professional page online, I'm not typically one to be ultra aggressive. I like to be a conservative forecaster and then ramp up as needed. So I'm not going to sit here and say, tornado outbreak Wednesday or anything crazy. But I am even more concerned with Wednesday than I am tomorrow. And I think tomorrow is a fairly legitimate threat. Um, no point in getting way into the details right now because there's a lot that has to happen and I want to get through one event at a time. But Wednesday, just from a big picture standpoint, has all the pieces for a significant severe weather outbreak. We'll dial it in. We'll cover it as we get through this first event. But you're going to want to be thinking about what you're doing Wednesday, and kind of what your severe weather preparedness will look like. Because I think Wednesday will be it's got the potential to be a fairly high end severe weather outbreak. Just to be honest. And then there you can, this is the excessive rain outlook for Wednesday. And as I said, um, the flood threat, kind of ramps up through the week as we get more and more rounds of thunderstorms. And you can see by Wednesday, they've introduced a slight risk for flash flooding, which does include Grayson County. So if you're in a flood prone area, I know some places like near Rough River, for example, like some places are still dealing with flooding. So if you're in one of those areas or like a low lying area or flood prone area, you're going to want to kind of be aware of how much rain you're seeing in your location and what the dangers are if flooding is to develop where you live. And then here, this is kind of the big picture for the potential flooding. This covers, the entire week ahead. And you can see for the Grayson County area, I mean, we're thinking up to 6 to 8 inches of rain. And sometimes the numbers throw people off. So like 6 to 8 inches of rain might not sound like a lot of rain to you, but that's a significant rainfall event. The good news is that it's kind of spread out over several days, but still, that's enough to cause some problems. So we're thinking you'll see, those flooding issues kind of build up through the week. And this is one of my, you never want to see tornado events where you work and live, but it's even worse when they're at night. And unfortunately for Grayson County, it looks like we're dealing with another nocturnal event. So if we see tornadoes tomorrow, it's going to be after dark. You're not going to see them. That's so you just need to, take the warning seriously, and hope that one hasn't actually developed. But you need to just take the warning seriously because you're not going to see them coming. They're probably going to be wrapped up in rain. And then this gives some good ideas. A NOAA weather radio is probably the best thing to have for warnings. I think personally, I recommend everybody have your cell phone, NOAA weather radio, and those are like the go-to items for warnings because a NOAA weather radio is going to wake you up even if you're asleep. There that you can customize them for your location, so you only get warnings that impact you. You're going to want to keep flashlight and shoes nearby because you don't want to have to get up, trying to find your shoes, not being able to see. I mean, really, you just want to think about the things that you need if a tornado warning is issued and kind of have them available and accessible so that if, God forbid, you get awoken by a tornado or a tornado warning, that you can just get up and immediately take your precautions and keep you and your family safe. Know where to go. You guys hear us, whether it's me or whoever your favorite broadcast meteorologist is, or whoever, you hear us talk about this all the time. But know where to go. Know what your shelters is going to be. And it's the same rule of thumb as always. Lowest floor, interior room, with no windows. You want to try to put as many walls between you and the storm as you can. That's always the goal. A dedicated storm shelter or a basement is ideal, but the rule of thumb is always put as many walls between you and the storm as you can on the lowest floor. That's always the go-to. It might sound cheesy. Take a helmet. Like a lot of injuries occur because things get blown around. Walls come down. People get hit in the head. Take a helmet. You might feel like you look goofy, but it's a lot cooler after a storm if you're okay than if you're not. So take a helmet. Go to the lowest floor. Get in a safe spot. Ride it out until it's clear. This one doesn't really need any explaining, but don't drive around barricades. Like, I'm not going to give this, gives you a few numbers. I could give you some more numbers, but look, it takes less water to move your car than you think it does, and it's going to be a bad day, and you don't want to have a bad day, so don't do it. If you see barricades that say don't go, then don't go. Like, it's simple. All right, so I know you're gonna talk about some things. I just want to say real quick before I get off here and let you take over. Um, Again, to reiterate, for Grayson County specifically, I'm thinking 8 p.m. to midnight tomorrow night. Please just be, kind of aware of the local weather. I'll be covering, again, I cover the entire western half of Kentucky, but I will, of course, be covering Grayson County as well. Um, so you can follow along with me if you want to see what's coming before it gets here. And of course, I'll be posting for Grayson County when storms arrive. And just stay tuned in. Like, just be weather aware. You don't have to panic. I mean, there are things you can do to stay safe, but just have a plan, be ready to act on it, and stay aware, and we'll get through this together. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'll do that. Um, Sometimes people get confused about, a watch versus a warning, and this has emergency. I'll explain that too. So, when I say we, I mean us, who, forecasters who work in operations. When we issue warnings uh, or watches, a lot of people sometimes get confused about the difference. So a watch, I always explain to people like that a watch, a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch, you've got the ingredients on the table, and a warning is you've got yourself a cake, like you've baked the cake now. So a watch just means the conditions are favorable for severe weather. Tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for tornadoes, and we're expecting storms to develop in the short term, within an hour or two. And watches can last several hours. That means the conditions are favorable. A warning, we will issue a warning when, for any number of reasons, whether it's radar analysis or spotter reports or whatever, when a storm is expected to be producing the hazard that we've warned it for. So a tornado warning means that there is a storm and it is either producing a tornado or showing signs that it is very, like, a tornado is imminent. So a warning means, like, a watch means be prepared, a warning means take shelter. And then there are a few different levels of warnings, and the one outlined here is an emergency. So a tornado emergency is the highest level of tornado warning that we can use. And it means that a large, likely violent tornado is in progress, it's confirmed in progress, doing damage. It's not expected to go anywhere anytime soon, and it is a particularly dangerous situation. So you need to take shelter from a tornado warning. A tornado emergency means that, I mean, it's another level up. It means that we know a tornado is occurring, and not only do we know a tornado is occurring, but we know that, like, a likely violent tornado is ongoing.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in to listen what Dustin had to say about the discussion tonight. Do you have anything else you want to say? I think we lost him. So right now, let's take a look at the Kentucky Mesonet, courtesy of the WKU. Temperatures right now it is 67 degrees here in Grayson County right now. LaRue County, you're at 67 as well. Let's take a look at the LaRue County tower cam. This is what the tower cam is looking like around LaRue County right now. Got cars and traffic's moving A-OK right there in LaRue County right now. This is courtesy of the LaRue County EMS tower, and thanks to the telecast, one of my friends, Cam, he sent me the link so we can add this to our WeatherCam network. This is the only camera we have right now. I would like to get some more up, but here's a look at the big Clifty weather cam. I think there's a spider on that cam right now, I think. And I really don't want to go check it out because I don't like spiders. So like Dustin said, tomorrow's going to be an alert day for us because Grace County is in an enhanced risk for severe storms tomorrow. So that's why me and Dustin decided to issue those weather alert days for tomorrow. Like he said, Grace County is in the 10 to 14% range for probability of a tornado. The hatched area, 10% probability of a significant tornado, EF2 to EF5. And the wind threat is 30 to 44%. The hatched area is 10% probability of significant wind gusts greater than 74 miles an hour. Then the hail outlook, parts of Grace County is in the 30 to 44%, 10% hatched area with greater than 2-inch diameter size hail. And that 2-inch diameter is around the size of a lime. So part of me wants to buy a lime to show you. I mean, I know what y'all know what limes look like. Then you know what a baseball looks like, and tennis balls and everything, and a softball. So I can try to show you all the sizes and everything. But that's what the outlook's looking at tomorrow. So like Dustin and I said, we issued an alert day for tomorrow, and me and Dustin decided to issue one for Wednesday as well. So Sunday, there's a 50% chance of rain, then switch to 90%. Monday, 40%, 58 degrees, and a lower 35. On April Fool's Day, April 1st, don't forget, people might trick you and everything. 60 degrees, it's supposed to be mostly sunny and low around 48 degrees and cloudy that night. Wednesday, it's another alert day, 60% chance of rain, then 90% that night. And 77 degrees is a high, 58 degrees is a low. But right now, looking at the radar right now, just a little bit of spotty showers around the area. Nothing severe tonight for today. So that's what we're looking at right now around the area. So as we look at the big picture, trying to figure out which one. Right now, there's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado watch in Oklahoma right now. So that's around Temple, Waters, around that area in Oklahoma right now. Then you have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in Texas right now as well. Then up north around Minneapolis, North and South Dakota and Wisconsin, right there. You got snow and a little bit of showers around that area too. Then Michigan, you're just getting showers around that area. And my family up in Rochester, are you seeing any snow on the snow up there? Because snow or rain or freezing rain or sleet up there. Because it looks like that's what y'all are getting right now. That's what it looks like right now. Then down in New Orleans, where I went last year for a trip. Gosh, it's only almost been a year since I've been down there. We just went in May, I think, of last year. This year's gone by quick. Because we're getting ready to be in April. Like, this year has been gone by fast. But, yeah. So that's what it's looking like right now. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in and everything for Grayson County weather. And if anything goes severe tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream and everything. So stay tuned and everything for the live stream and everything. I'll give you updates and everything. There's something green on my thing. But I'll keep you updated on everything here on the Grayson County Weather's Facebook page and my personal page, my YouTube channel, everything else. All of it will be. When will it start? Okay, let me go back to that graphic. Okay, I got it loaded up and we'll switch back to it. So timing for our area will be between 12 and 3 a.m. So that'll be 11 to 2 our time. So I'll be staying up. I'll probably buy me a couple energy drinks for tomorrow as well, so I can have them for severe weather coverage and everything. Then this is a severe tornado outlook for tomorrow. I'll go to the big picture one. Well, Grace County's in the 10 to 14% range. With hatched areas, 10% probability of a significant tornado, EF2 to EF5. And then wind outlook, 30 to 44%. We're in the hatched area as well. Greater than 10% probability of significant wind gusts. Greater. It'll be tomorrow night. The time that you see at the top right here, March 29, 2025, with the time 4:53, that's whenever these graphics were made. And this will come in tomorrow night. I mean, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Not tonight. But timing is around Sunday at 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. Central Time. Any one location will see severe conditions for up to 2 hours. So that's what it's looking like. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in here for Grayson County Weather. Please be updated and please be weather aware tomorrow. Please have multiple ways to receive warnings in case the warnings is issued for your area. Please do not rely on outdoor warning sirens because they are meant to be for people that's outdoors doing stuff outside and stuff. They are not meant to be heard inside. So do not rely on don't rely on the outdoor warning sirens to be so you can hear it inside your house. That's why I have a NOAA weather radio above my bed so it'll alert me if I'm sleeping in case the warning is issued for Grayson County. It'll go off and it will wake me up. Be like, hey, there's a tornado warning for your area. And the alarm will sound and everything. It'll wake me up. Then that's whenever I turn on my live stream and everything for y'all to jump in and keep y'all informed. And you can see I have a green screen. Depending on if I can get it working or not, I'll probably use the green screen tomorrow so we'll have everything, give you live coverage. Or I might be right here on my desk doing the live stream that way, and depending on if I'll have a camera set up or not. But we might. What if I can do that? Would you all want to do it this way? Because we can do it this way, or I can use the green screen behind me. Because let me see. Okay, something's messed up with that. Oh, I know what I did. But yeah, I can have it where I can use the green screen tomorrow. As you can tell, this is what I can do tomorrow. I can have the green screen right behind me, and I won't do it like this because I'll have my tripod set up, and I'll be looking at that TV or this TV right here. I have two TVs in my room. I'm planning on getting another TV and putting it on that wall so I can have all connected, so I can be looking, so I know where I'm pointing at on the map and everything. But yeah, so this is what I'm trying to get stuff ready for. Make sure all the graphics work and everything. But this is what we're looking at right now. So there's Grayson County right there. So I just want to make sure everything's going to work good and everything. And so this is other map, the other one. But I am not using this one, this tripod that I'm using right now. This is for whenever I do my talk shows and stuff. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in here for Grayson County weather. It's going to be Cam. I need to turn that filter off. Okay, so I just need to turn that filter on and off whenever I use it tomorrow. But yeah, you can see that I'll have the green screen behind me and everything. So that's how we're going to probably do the show tomorrow. That's if I can get my wireless mic to work and everything tomorrow. But I want to thank you all for tuning in here on Grayson County Weather. And I'll keep you updated on the severe storms tomorrow. I'm Cody Brock here with Grayson County Weather.